So one of the members on the SMP has died, which means they cannot respawn, and they need my help. Now you may be wondering, how could I help? Well, here's the secret, with this. And in this video, you will be finding out what that is. My name is Frosty, and I joined the Insanity SMP. An SMP with superpowers. Mine being that I can fly, and when it's nighttime, I got strength. But during the day, I got weakness. Also, I'm trying to get to 2,000 subscribers by the end of the year, so if you could subscribe, it would really mean a lot. Anyways, how did I revive Pepsi? So I got the message and I knew it was time to reveal my secret. So a few weeks earlier, I decided to bury a secret item. I kind of forgot where I buried it, so it took me a minute to find it. Yeah, if this job wasn't dangerous enough. So I kept digging and I eventually found it. Now you may be wondering, what's inside this chest? Well, yeah, that's the secret item I was talking about. This is the revival stone. This brings back fully dead people on the SMP back to life. And this was my only chance of getting one of my allies, Pepsi, back into the server. And I knew exactly where to go. When you die, you get trapped in this bedrock box so you cannot escape. I know this because I was once dead on this server. So I'm doing this because I know it's terrible. And Pepsi kinda already just started, so he deserved it. It's time to see if this stone really works. The stone worked, and everything was peaceful. And there was Pepsi, right there, right in front of me. Basically back from the dead. The stone worked, and I brought him back to life. I didn't want this to happen again, so I definitely had to give him some diamonds this time. After saving Pepsi from the dead, we decided to work together, and we will be working together to take down one of the strongest Minecraft bosses. And as you can tell, you probably know what we're about to fight, considering that we're going into the nether. Pepsi and I were on full combat mode, and we're about to take down whatever gets in our way. First, we need to get 3 skeleton heads, which wouldn't be easy, but we were willing to grind. Pepsi found 1, so that means we only need 2 more. After some time, I finally got the second head. But for the creature that we're making, we still need 1 more head. And shortly after that, we finally got it. As you probably already guessed, we are fighting the Wither, which was a bit risky because Pepsi is on his last life. But it was time to summon the Wither, and we would be the first people on the SMP to fight it. I placed down the last head, and we have finally done it. It was a crazy battle, but we have won. We now have the very first nether star. I gave it to Pepsi, and he gave me a very good idea. Now that we have a nether star, that means we can make something that's very important. So I grabbed every last piece of diamonds that I had so I can craft exactly 36 diamond blocks. Now you may be wondering, why do I need 36 diamond blocks? That's because Pepsi and I decided to make a beacon. Now I didn't know how to make one, so I asked Pepsi to make it for me. After he was done with the diamonds, it was my turn to make the beacon. And when I was done, I gave it to Pepsi so he can place it. He placed it down, and now we have a beacon. This was huge for the SMP because this is the first beacon that was added. And I've done it with my good friend Pepsi. And it was now time to test it out. And the first thing that I chose was haste. This was really good for my base. But of course I had to decorate a little bit and I made it look good. And I placed yellow stained glass, that way the beam can be yellow because that's like basically my color. I really like this design. The beacon is now done and life is feeling good. I now have a team, a beacon, and I defeated the Wither. So now I can finally rest. So something is wrong with Pepsi, and I think he needs my help. Hi, my name is Frosty, and I joined the Insanity SMP. An SMP where everybody has unique superpowers. And you may be wondering, what are my superpowers? Well, basically I can fly, kind of like if I was in creative mode. And not just that, during the daytime I got weakness, but luckily during the nighttime I got strength. Anyways, I'm trying to get to 2,000 subscribers by the end of the year, so subscribing could really help. Anyways, let's find out what's wrong with Pepsi. So I went to my base, and this is what I saw. The blocks from last video have expanded. These blocks are different. It's almost like they were living. You could hear people talking. Now, I can't figure out what these are by myself, so I needed to ask for help. Luckily, I had someone in mind. I got to the base and I really didn't know if they were home, but to my surprise, they were. So of course I had to ask them to check this out. And back to the base we go. When we got there, we noticed there was a patch of the darkness sitting outside, meaning this was only going to spread more and more. This was a big deal, and I didn't know what to expect next. Anyways, I showed the rest of the blocks inside my base. It was nothing we have ever seen before. Luckily, the blocks were safe to stand on, but they did make noises, so it was kind of, creepy, I guess. Pepsi was looking at my axolotl cage, and one of them were missing. And that axolotl was no other than Alex. I had to see what these blocks do or what they were, so I tried breaking them. But breaking them only caused them to spread more. I looked at my base as it was all destroyed. I was no longer able to live in here, and I lost half of my stuff due to this block. But something was starting to add up. This block was from no other than the darkness. Only the darkness would do something as evil as this. And we needed to find a solution as fast as possible, because this block will literally eat our world away. No matter what we do, we cannot stop the spreading at the moment. Pepsi still needed to go home and do stuff. So he went home while I checked out this block and experimented. Pepsi went home with a surprise.
Hello, Pepsi. You seem weak, pathetic. Perhaps I can make you stronger. It's not a simple task, but you must kill Frosty. Doing this will grant you immortality. You will never have to worry about the fear of death.
What am I doing here again?
So join me. Let's be friends forever. And if you don't listen to me, I will make you. Go, kill him, kill Frosty.
Pepsi, you okay? Like, this is kind of weird, dude. And why do you have your axe out? Yo! Pepsi, you good, man? You need to chill. Oh no, he's gonna kill me. What is wrong with him? Oh gosh. Man, I thought he was on my side. I'm actually gonna die. I need to get to shelter. Pepsi, whatever you're doing, I swear it's not worth it. Please don't kill me, Pepsi.
Sorry.
Wait, no. And there I lie, dead on the ground.
You fell for my trap, and now you must give me your powers. Hey, come back here. Where are you going? You can't run.
I didn't know what was wrong with Pepsi, but I needed help. So remember that book? Well, that book came from an ally of mine, Ario. And that book said I can call him whenever I need help. So that's what I did. I told him about everything and that Pepsi was acting strange. And that I was gonna need his help just in case Pepsi goes crazy again. So I asked him to follow me. On our way to Pepsi's house, I showed him the darkness. It was nothing we've never seen before, and it was now 10 times the size than it was when I showed Pepsi. That was enough with that distraction. We needed to go check on Pepsi. We ran to his home and we opened the doors, and he seemed normal, like nothing just had happened. And now his base was also corrupted by the darkness. We were truly doomed, and I don't know who I can trust. But for now, I think it's safe to trust Pepsi.
Hello, Ario.
Anyways, I really hope you guys enjoyed that video, and I want to give a quick shout out to Ario and Pepsi for being in this video and helping me record. You can find their socials in the description down below. And if you want to see Pepsi's POV of this video, click here on this video and you should be able to watch it. Anyways, I love you guys and goodbye.
Hey, Nathan, Mr. Meow, I need to talk to you two. So, yesterday my brother gave me a warning, which apparently came from me originally, but I don't remember any of that, about how some unknown force called the Darkness would cover the world. A month prior to this, Julian was taken captive by his enemy FrostyBros, you probably know him, and killed. But some mysterious person offered to help him, but only if he helps them in return. And somehow that person reversed time and rescued Julian. Julian was rescued by someone wearing a dark green hood, who also said they were something called the Darkness. And he also had glowing white eyes. Anyways, right after Julian explained this, we heard a bunch of lightning outside. I went to check it out, and there was a patch of pitch black blobs, which would just spread when I tried to break them.
So what you're saying is that we have to go and stop the guy that helped Julian in order to get rid of the darkness blocks.
Yup. And from what I know, he's currently at Julian's base and has Julian working for him. But Julian can't do anything about it because he's just too powerful.
I love Julian, but I'm fine with the rogue dying.
Nihilist?
So here's some useful maps. They could come in handy. This is a map of my base, nothing special, it just shows you what my base is like.
I gotcha.
This is a map of Julian's base. And this is a map of Frosty's base. But something happened there and I don't know what. So, anyways, are you two on board with helping me stop this guy?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, let's go then. But before we head to Julian's base, I want to show you the darkness blocks at my base.
Sounds good. I think the darkness spread a little.
Oh.
Who broke it, Killian?
Guys, yeah, let's just go to Julian's base. Everyone, check the whole ship. Try to find anything useful. Anything.
Okay.
Nathan, you see if there's any rooms we missed. I don't think there are, but there might be.
What is this?
Oh,
What should we?
I think I missed this. I just thought it was an unfinished part of the floor. It's him! It's him! It's the guy Julian. It's the guy Julian described.
That's him.
Yeah.
Are you the darkness?
Indeed I am, and I've been waiting for this day for a long time. Every minute is useless to me, and you can't do anything to stop me. Nathan, your armor.
What do you mean?
You know exactly what I'm talking about.
Meow, do you have any idea what he means by this?
I have no idea. Prepare to die.
Do you really think the two of you can stop
Wait,
me?
what do you mean, two? There's three of them.
Nathan, attack.
Run, Julian! Run!
Anyways, what do we do now?
I don't know. If we don't figure this out, soon they will destroy everything.
Huh. I have an idea. How about I go to Frosty's base and you watch over this place? I'll get Frosty because he's really strong and is really rich and he could definitely help us with this. FrostyBros.
Killian?
So, I was going to ask you if you could help with a little bit of a darkness problem at my base, but I see, you appear to be in a little bit of a predicament yourself.
Yes, whatever this is, it's obviously dangerous. Do you have any idea why it's here or what it's even about?
Julian actually seems to know. So, what happened was, a few days ago, apparently I came to Julian's house, but he had golden yellow eyes, I was flying, then he had a battle, and when he won, I gave him this warning. And, essentially, there was this dark green hooded guy with white eyes from like a month ago, and apparently he had killed you, and he also called himself the Darkness, and Julian connected with him and these black blocks, and we tried to go stop him, but then...
At first, I didn't know if I could believe you or not because this story sounds so far-stretched.
But then me, Meow, and Nathan tried to stop him, and somehow he took control of Nathan thanks to the armor Nathan was wearing and had somehow gotten from him.
Pepsi also got armor from Nathan. But just the other day, Pepsi was also controlled by the darkness.
I think we need to figure out how to defeat him and just take him out.
Yeah, but that's kind of hard when he can control time. I mean, basically, he probably already knows what we're gonna do before we can even see it happening. But I do know something that can help. Well, yeah, you know that creepy little guy in the green hood? I think I know where he lives.
Wait, before you show me, could I grab like a diamond sword or something?
I mean, sure, why not? It's in the top chest right over there.
That's good.
Not too far from here, in that forest, there's a cabin. But it's no longer a cabin anymore.
What?
Well, yeah, he lives right back here. Actually, it's surprisingly close to me. This cabin used to be smaller, but now it's double its size and it's compounded.
Just go through and find stuff, I guess? He is away at Julian's base, so he shouldn't be back for a while. At least that's where I last saw him, and that was only like, what, 10, 15 minutes ago?
I think the coast is clear for now, but we should try to get out of here as soon as possible.
I doubt he came back here specifically. Ooh, netherite, I'm taking that. Hope he doesn't get too angry about us robbing his place, though he kind of deserves it for ending the world.
Yeah, if he's ending the world, this would be gone anyways.
Feels like there should be something here. I'm gonna check the upstairs. Frosty's base. That's an outdated map.
Is that his face on the map?
Yeah, I think it is.
Weird.
I mean, it seems like a normal place besides the fact that they have a map.
Killian? I think we should go downstairs. Is there anything that's not that normal in here?
Strength potions. I'm gonna nab a few of these.
Hey, you're never gonna know when we need those.
Feels like there should be something here. Nope, there's not.
I don't know why, but I was really expecting something to be there. Wait. What do you think this does?
I don't know. Oh, it opens a door.
Well, I guess we found what we're looking for.
Frosty?
Yeah.
How about we take apart whatever's suspicious? Because there has to be something here, right?
Wait, is that my bird? That's my bird, Icy. What is he doing here?
I feel like this search hasn't been very satisfactory. How about we start taking apart whatever's suspicious? Because we've pretty much... I think we've pretty much found every room.
Okay, but that one glass window with the eyes, that's very suspicious. I guess nothing is here.
Guess we can uncover the carpet. Ooh! Secret room!
What's this?
Secret room, secret room.
Man, this is really sketchy. Killian, you might want to check this out.
What is this?
This is the old version of his base. Hold up, there's a sign. This is the only place I can't control time. It is stuck in one timeline. Killian, we can defeat him here. He can't control time here.
It's weird to take things out of a place frozen in time, but I don't know.
Well, now we have a way to defeat the darkness. And I think I know just the right people to call. Now, I'm not gonna lie, my base is looking pretty rough. And honestly, I think I need to fix it right now. As you guys can tell, darkness blocks is everywhere, and it's really damaging my reputation on selling this land. Like, I cannot sell land if it looks like crap. So we're definitely gonna get this fixed up. So basically, all my land is covered in darkness blocks, and I'm gonna need a lot of dirt to cover it up. But no regular shovel was gonna do the trick. So I got myself some netherite and made myself a netherite shovel. With all that out of the way, it was time to dig. This was gonna be a very long process, so just bear with me. It is already taking so long, and I'm not even halfway through yet. And all of a sudden, this baby zombie started going ham on me for no reason. I was starting to lose hope. This process was taking way too long. This wouldn't be an easy task by just using a shovel, but at the end, it will all be worth it. I managed to get a lot of dirt, but I still needed more. And on top of that, the darkness keeps spreading. Yeah, that's not looking real good. I had no idea that there was more darkness blocks spreading out here. Now, digging all these blocks all alone would simply just take too long, so I had a plan in mind, and that is to steal. But the problem is, if I get caught, I'm a dead man on this server. But you know me, I won't get caught, right? Hopefully he's not online, because if I get caught doing this, I am definitely gonna be killed, or even trapped. It doesn't matter, I just cannot be caught. I'm sure this guy has plenty of dirt, like, inside his base. I mean, if not, then I'm out of luck and I need to think of another idea. It doesn't seem like anybody's home, so just a bunch of junk. 5 dirt, I mean, I guess that works. Grass block. Ooh, that's better. So yeah, this guy was actually really poor. I was expecting him to be more rich because he was actually the reason all this is here. Hopefully Pepsi has some dirt lying around because it would take too long to dig all that dirt out. It looks like Pepsi's low on dirt as well. It's strange. I guess we gotta think of a different idea. Now sure, Pepsi might be low on dirt, but he's never low on one key item. And that block is no other than TNT, probably the most useful block on collecting dirt. Okay, maybe not the most useful, but kind of useful. So this means I have to text Pepsi to get online, and it all comes down to that. Yes, he got on. Alright, let's see if this plan works. So I basically told Pepsi all the details that I had in store, and he was totally down to help. Let's just see what he's trying to show me. And is this a secret room? Oh, okay. Hold up. Oh my gosh. How long has he been hiding this? Bro, this is insane. Like, look at all this. Armor. What's in these? Gold? Oh my gosh, he's just rich. So how does Pepsi actually have so much TNT? And hold on, let me explain. So every time Pepsi crouches, TNT will spawn. But how do we get so much TNT to spread so much land? in the quickest way as possible. I mean, if Pepsi can't fly, it's gonna be hard, but I think I found a solution. Slow falling. If we can build high enough, we can make a straight line of TNT, collecting as most dirt as possible. And since I can fly, this will be very simple. Now, it was time to put the plan in play. Yup, that will do. I could already tell this would be the easiest way to do it. I was getting a lot of dirt surprisingly fast, so this project will be done in no time. I finally had a full chest of dirt, and that's not even the only one. Now that I have all the dirt that I need, I can finally start building and covering up all these darkness blocks. I think my work here is done. Obviously, if I were to cover every single hole that was made, I will not be able to finish this within like no time. So I'm going to come up with a different solution instead to make this still look good. And I came up with the perfect solution, and that was to build a fence. So I went on creative to make the perfect fence for my creation. I came up with 2 ideas, and these are the fence I came with. I wouldn't say this is the final design because I probably will end up changing it. Luckily, I already got all those resources, so I don't actually have to go out and collect all that. So let's get right to it, I guess. I started off by building the fence into this mountain. And yes, I did end up changing my supplies, so yeah, the fence will look different. But you know what? That doesn't matter because I think this looks better. Yeah, I've already made a lot of progress, but I still got this entire like land to cover with this fence. I went with a different design because I actually didn't have enough resources. After repeating the same process over and over again, I was finished. Okay, I'm done with the fence. Yeah, that wasn't easy, but I definitely think it gives it a great touch. But now this just looks empty. So I'm gonna grow some spruce trees in here and make a spruce forest. And done. Now that I got a forest, a fence, land, it was time to build on that land. We couldn't just build the land and call it quits. And I can only come up with a few ideas, so let's see what I do. I made myself a few farms, and I also decided to decorate it a little bit, make it look nice. You know what? I actually kind of like this. This is looking good. I think I'm going to go with the same style for everything else I build. So yeah, for now, I'm going to think of more ideas, but I'm going to take a break from playing. Okay, now it was time to actually make some useful stuff, like an enchantment table, extra homes, my old watchtower, which I rebuilt, and of course farms. And not just that, I rebuilt my toe base. If you guys do not know what this is, I used to have a toe base on this series, so I decided to rebuild it as a memory. So yeah, since I've covered the darkness blocks, I've decided to build new things, like my watchtower is back, Pepsi is starting on a statue. I decided to build this right over here. This is my enchantment table room, so I can enchant things, of course, why not? And over here is a little thing that Pepsi made. This is his creeper. And over here is a house that anybody could stay in. I don't plan on living here, but if I do, I guess I'll just move in. I knew something wasn't complete. I forgot to give my brown panda a pin, so of course I went straight to work. Now all I had to do was add some extra details and it would be done. Now it was time to actually put the panda in here. This took a minute, but I finally got the panda in a new home. A while back, the panda was killed, and I let you guys name it in the comments, so here's the new name. Now that I actually have land, I can actually build more farms. You know, I wanted to do this a lot sooner, but I never did. But you know, look at me now. And my farm was finished. Basically, any crop that I needed was in there, so yeah. Okay, I think my work here has been done for this video at least. I think it turned out great. Of course, there will be a part 2 for this video. So yeah, my base went from this to this. I think it turned out pretty good, and I'm actually excited for what's next. So everything here is a mix from new things to old things that I've added. Some are useful, some aren't, and I can finally call this base home again. All these new things don't take place in lore, it's just for the looks, just for here. And I got some empty spots, that way you guys can comment what I should build next. Guys, I'm trying to get to 2,000 subscribers by the end of the year, so subscribing, it would really help a lot. So if you can help me reach that goal, that would be amazing. Anyways, I love you guys and goodbye. So in my last video, I asked you guys everything that you guys would like for me to build, and you guys had some great ideas in mind. So I chose a few comments, and that's exactly what I built. So for the first build, I was gonna need a lot of wood, and you're about to see why. But before I start cutting down trees, let me check my chest. And you know what? That is actually a decent amount of wood, but we're still gonna need a little bit more. So now that I got all the wood that I need, I was ready to build something that you guys commented. And now you're gonna see why I needed all this wood in the first place. I started off by making a pillar, that way I know where to build. Next, I built the foundation of the bottom of the build. After that, I adjusted the height because this build is gonna have to be tall. After a few more adjustments, it was finally done. And this is how it turned out. Yeah, this will definitely work, but I wanna try to make it look like what I'm trying to build and less like a piece of So now it was time to build some shears. Now you may be wondering, why? Well, that's because I'm gonna need a lot of leaves. Now it was time to add these leaves to my build. And my build was finally done. And after all that work, I can genuinely say this actually looks kinda good. And the tree is now finished. I think this looks very nice, to be honest. I mean, the base isn't so secret when we come inside, but you know, it actually looks good. Honestly, I was expecting for this to look a lot worse. And you know what? I could have never thought of a better idea than this. And you know what? It's because of you guys. So thank you for that. For this next build, I'm gonna need to go to the nether, because the one thing that I need for this project is actually only in here. So I geared up and I went straight to the nether. And I just realized that the darkness spreads in the nether too. There's really no escaping this. So why did I come here? Well, I actually need one item, and that's called quartz. So that's what I did. I got a bunch of quartz. And I was done. I finally had all the quartz that I need for this project, and this will be done in no time. And I'm about tired of mining quartz, so I'm gonna go. So that's exactly what I did. So I headed straight back home to the nether portal, and that's when I started my project. But first, I'm gonna have to turn all these quartz into quartz blocks. So I made as much blocks as I needed, and I accidentally made too much pillars, so yeah, that kind of sucks, but it's whatever. I'm gonna just need a few trips to the nether. I started off with a wood foundation. But after this, I was gonna need a lot of glass. But there was one problem. I was gonna need some sand. And I wasn't talking about just a little bit, I was talking about a decent amount. Okay, this entire desert was a stretch, but you know. Luckily, I know somewhere that should have a decent amount of sand. And I know a person that might have a few things that I need. So yeah, I think I'm gonna steal again. I looked at the tall sandstone statue, and I knew exactly where to look. I broke inside, and this is what I found. Well, first I had to fix the holes that I made, you know, just be nice like that. Anyways, back to it. And this is what I found. And if you're wondering what this is, it's a secret sand vault. It has a bunch of sand, furnaces where I can smelt, and you know, all that good stuff. So yeah, sorry Pepsi, but I'm gonna need to borrow some of this, so yeah, thank you. I only took what I needed and I left. Now I'm gonna need more than just regular glass. I need stained glass. So I went to the oceans, and you know exactly what I had to do. I am so sorry for this. But on my way home, I ran into something else. Well, you see that yellow spot? That is an Easter egg from the Easter event. And for this project, this will be perfect. This thing is super rare for my project, and I honestly don't know how it got there. All I know, this Easter egg has a lot of meaning to the SMP, so I need to figure out how to get this. So yeah, an Easter egg. There's only one way I can get this. If I get a fishing rod, I can drag it back home with me just by using it. Now these Easter eggs, yeah, they can die, so I needed to figure a way to keep this egg from dying. So I flew back to base, and I grabbed some healing potions, and I was ready to take it back home. I could tell this is going to be the only and the most easiest way to do this. And doing this was a very slow process, but you know, it's going to work, and it's really worth it because these eggs are super rare. So yeah, just bear with me. After a long and very boring process, I finally got it close to where I needed. Now it was time to work back on my project since I got something to put inside of it now. So you may be wondering, what am I building? So the other day I made you guys do a vote, and I asked you guys what I should build, a museum or a cabin. Obviously the museum won, and this is what I'm building. So that's why I really wanted that Easter egg. It was time to actually add all those quartz that I mined. Turns out I actually really didn't need that much quartz, but whatever. And the project was done. I grabbed all my valuable stuff and put it in here. Some of these are clones, some of these aren't real. So yeah, but most of these are the originals, so don't worry. It's not all just fake. Like this piece of a toe base, it's real. But these axolotls, my old axolotls, they're not here no more. They're dead, so these are fake. I got my original brown panda's bamboo that it dropped when it died. I got a little section for all the end stuff that I got from the inn, including the dragon egg, the dragon head, and an end crystal. I got the super rare Easter egg, and it's because some of these eggs glitched and they stayed in the game. I got Nathan's old base remains, which I've always had ever since I blew it up. And I got an armor set from an old SMP member named Blink, as well having a photo of him, which obviously is super rare. And I also have a FrostyBros case full of all my belongings that are also super rare. These are all super OG stuff, and they're actually original, so that's pretty cool to see and look back at. Oh yes, and my favorite part, the wall of the sub. If you want to be on the wall, all you have to do is comment down below. Make sure you're subscribed. There's only a few spots, so spots are limited, so you might want to move fast. That way you can get your name on the wall. And this is just to show my appreciation to you guys. Next was a carrot statue. This ended up looking okay, but you know, it still came out good, and I'm building this mainly for a friend. Either way, I think it ended up looking really cool, and I really like it. You know my bird Icy, right? Well, it's about time that he deserves a gift. Icy has been there since almost the start, so yeah, he definitely deserves a gift, and I chose one of your guys' comments to build this next project. And obviously, it's based off of Icy, so I got started on the build. Since I'm building this statue, I have some time to talk, and I'm asking you guys, if you're not subscribed yet, to please subscribe. I worked really hard on these videos, and I'm trying to get to 2K subscribers by the end of the year. Anyways, I really appreciate all that you guys do for me, and that's why I'm actually making this video. Is for you guys. I always make these videos for you guys, so thank you. Now, Icy really deserves this. I even put a crown on him because he's a king. The crazy part is that Icy was named by you guys, and I really like the way that this looks. It looks dope in my opinion, and I really hope that Icy gets a bigger role in season 2. And Icy will always be honored and remembered, especially after this gift. And finally, my project was done. I added my own things to it, as well as letting you guys add things to it. The project was super fun to work on, and I loved getting the help from you guys. The amount of memories I had in this base obviously is amazing. Yeah, sure, this area on the SMP had its ups and downs, but yet it stayed up, and now look at it. It looks beautiful. I had some great memories here, the best memories, and we can even look back at them by watching these videos or the museum. Anyways, the base turned out great, it looks nice, and everything has a meaning. We added some great touches to this land. Anyways, this is the Insanity SMP. Unfortunately, that is the end of this series, but we might have more projects coming this way, so don't worry, there will be more. Anyways, I love you guys and goodbye. This is the Insanity SMP, and today I will be building the biggest bunker I've ever built and fighting the Ender Dragon. Trust me, you're not gonna want to miss this. So in my last video, I asked you guys to comment things that you guys would like me to build and that I would build them, but we still left some off, so I'm continuing that in this video. And that one thing was no other than a bunker itself, which I planned on putting over here. Luckily, we don't have to do a lot of digging since underneath this is all this. And if you're wondering why, you might want to watch my video of me saving my days. So for this bunker, I wanted a lot of light gray concrete because that will be my wall design, which means I'm gonna need a lot of gravel. I dug for hours and hours considering I was underwater, so it was a very time-consuming process. But eventually I got enough gravel, that way I can actually start on this project. And since we got the sand vault, I did not have to collect any sand. But now we need light gray dyes, so we can actually make light gray concrete. Now you may be wondering, why am I going to the nether? Well, I already have enough ink sacks. Well, there is one key item that I need to get from the nether itself, and that is the bone block. Getting this can get me bone meal, which can help me make light gray dye. So yeah, this was gonna be fun. So that's what I did. I got straight to work and started breaking some bone blocks. I just wanted a full inventory of bone meal because I think it would look cool. So it's time to mine. Well, what a boring process, but I finally got all the bone meal that I needed. So yeah, I definitely didn't need a full inventory, but whatever. When I arrived back home, Pepsi was just randomly just staring at his pet monkey, but you know, he was just minding his own business, so I just left him alone. It was now time to build. I had all the stuff that I needed to build this bunker. So that's what Frosty did. He built a bunker. So I got straight to work. I built my bunker from the ground up, and you know what? This is going to be a very long and boring process, so let's just get it over with. Time for a epic montage. Yeah, this base was looking nice, and I was actually really happy on how it turned out. But I needed to go back to the nether because I'm about to fight the Ender Dragon. But first, I'm gonna need some gas tiers because we've already kind of defeated the Ender Dragon like 100 times. So I collected some gas tiers so I can respawn the Ender Dragon. Now I was gonna need some blaze powder, so I need to find a fortress fast. Luckily, I live right next to a fortress, so I know exactly where I can find one. And I got straight to collecting some blaze powder. I'm only one more step away from actually defeating the Ender Dragon once again. Now for the last step. I was gonna need a lot of ender pearls, so I need to find some endermen. Luckily, it didn't take me too long to find one of these forests where all the endermen spawn, so it was time to go straight to work. If you're wondering how I collected so much ender pearls so fast, it's because I stole this super OP hacker sword that has looting 6. So yeah, now that I got everything that I needed, it was time to gear up. I grabbed my strongest equipment and I was ready to go. It was now time to fight this Ender Dragon. It was now time to go to the stronghold. took a minute, but I finally got there. This is the portal room. Yeah, doesn't it look nice? But I built up my courage and I was now ready to fight the Ender Dragon. And into the portal I went. So now that I got all the end crystals that I need, I put it on each pillar. This is the part where I actually summoned the Ender Dragon. I placed an end crystal on the last pillar and I went straight to the middle to place the last end crystal. But it didn't work because to my surprise, I only had to place the end crystals in the center. Okay, let's try this again. Yeah, that's more like it. It's time to defeat this dragon. I had a very OP sword and I really wanted to see how much damage this thing could actually do. But first, it's time to break all these end crystals. I was doing a lot of damage fast. I was gonna kill this dragon in no time. The Ender Dragon was getting weaker and weaker every minute. It was finally my time to shine. The dragon was on its last straw. It was finally time for me to take the final blow. And I've won. Just like that. A piece of cake. I finally got to show you me defeating the Ender Dragon like it was nothing. But now it's time to receive my trophy, the egg. So I did the classic trick on gathering the egg, and bam, another egg to my collection. Since I defeated the Ender Dragon, you must subscribe, and now it's time to go back home. Because there's still one last thing that I need to do. The wall of the subs. So I asked all my awesome subscribers if they would like to be on the wall, and they got straight to commenting. So now it's time to see who actually got on the wall. And here's all the names. You can go ahead and look at it and see if you can spot yours. I really appreciate all the love and the support that you guys give me on continuing this series. So this is a thank you from me to you guys. And also there is 3 spots left, so if you want to be on this wall, I would get to commenting right now. Anyways, that's the end of the video. I love you guys and goodbye. Today on the Insanity SMP, I'll be building more of your guys' ideas and fighting the Wither. You'll see more on that later. So yeah, let's see how this goes. So yeah, for the last few days, I've been upgrading my base and using some of your guys' ideas to make it the best it could ever be. And you guys know, I'm not stopping yet, so make sure to comment down below what I should build in the next video. And it looks like I found exactly what we're going to be building in today's video. Well, except what I'm building will be 10 times larger. And you know exactly where I went, to the sand bowl. So I crafted a bunch of sandstone and put it in a furnace so I can get some smooth sandstone. After waiting there for a bit, it was finally done. Now for this build, we're gonna need concrete, and the only way to make concrete is to have gravel and sand. So I need to go ahead and collect some gravel. Now this might take a minute, considering that I dug all the gravel underwater. After a long process of digging, I finally got enough gravel for my project. This was gonna look so good and I can't wait to see the final results. Now it was time to collect some flowers for some dye. So now that I got enough flowers, I need some bone meal, but luckily in my last video, I had some extra bone meal because I accidentally made way too much. Now you may be wondering, why do I need bone meal? So basically, if you use bone meal on these large red flowers, it basically duplicates, that way I can make enough red dye. And done. That is all the red dye that I'm gonna need for this project. I probably won't need all of it, but just in case, I made some extra. Now that I got the gravel, the sand, and the red dye, it was time to craft the concrete. And I was gonna need a bit of white concrete as well. I took all the resources for this build and I brought it to my new base, since the build will be closer to my new base than my old one. Yeah, in my last video, I built this awesome base and it looks so cool. And if you haven't seen that video yet, you should definitely watch it. Anyways, here's everything that I need for that project. As you can tell from the beginning of the video, this project will actually be a mushroom, and I know a perfect place to put it at. Now it was time to turn this concrete powder into actual concrete. Luckily I live right next to water, so this shouldn't be too hard. And now I got all the concrete that I need. It's time to build this mushroom. I started out with a foundation, so I know exactly where to build. It was looking nice, and now it was time to add some white spots, but first I need to turn the white concrete powder into concrete as well. So now it was time to head straight to the waters and start mining all over it again. I didn't really need much white concrete, but I still made a decent amount. But now it's time to decorate these mushrooms. When I was building this mushroom, I ran into a zombie, which had a carrot, and that kind of reminded me of something. Right where these mushrooms are being built, there used to be a carrot which got destroyed, so now it's time to rebuild that carrot. Make sure to stick around in the video to see that. But for now, let's finish decorating these mushrooms. And they were looking nice. They were decorated very well. My base is getting better and better each day. And it's mainly because of your guys' ideas. So this spot kind of looks empty. And you remember that zombie with a carrot? Well, I'm actually going to build that carrot right here. So let's get right into it. I placed the carrot that the zombie dropped. And I placed a sign for the commenter that had this original idea. Sorry, French Turtle, for kind of destroying it the first time. Anyways, I made it 10 times larger, so it doesn't matter. And it actually looks pretty good. So I was sneaking around Pepsi's base when I found this, which gave me an idea to fight the Wither once again. So it was time to visit the Nether once again and actually get the resources for this. When I got to the Nether, I went straight to the fortress because that's what I'm gonna need is actually wither skulls. And the only place you can find withers at is at a Nether fortress, so you know exactly what I had to do. Luckily, my sword got looting like 6, so I think this wouldn't be a long process. After getting all the wither heads, it was time to collect the soul sand so I can finally fight the wither. But not 1, not 2, but 3 withers, because 1 wither would just be too boring. They were going crazy, and I knew I had to get ready for a fight, because taking down 3 withers is probably one of the hardest things I've ever done on this SMP. I finally got one very weak, and I decided to go for the final attack. That's 1 out of 2 withers that I've actually beaten. Now it was time to collect that nether stone. But that's when this happened. Yeah, that's when I realized that I made a huge mistake fighting these withers. Now all my tools have cursive vanishing, so I had to grab myself a weaker set, and you know what, that made this battle 10 times harder. But luckily, I had some faith in me and I knew I could do it. These withers weren't no normal withers, they were actually smart. They went so high up that we went to a point where there was nothing but snow, which they used to hide in. This made it very hard to see where the wither was, and I ended up losing this one wither. And if I'm being honest, I never end up finding where this wither actually went. So yeah, that's 2 out of 3 withers, except this one's probably going rogue somewhere out there. But luckily I did know where the 3rd wither was, so I won't have to worry about another wither going rogue on the SMP. I was hitting so much combo attacks and I almost won. Except the wither got a few good hits on me and I was actually about to die, so I ran to get cover. Doing so, I accidentally dropped my sword. But at the moment, that didn't matter because I needed to take cover and actually heal. But knowing my luck, somehow a skeleton managed to grab my sword. Yeah, this is probably more scary than actually the wither himself. So I killed the skeleton with my hand, and the skeleton didn't drop my sword, leading me straight to death. I was now panicked. I lost so many lives due to this wither. Not only is my luck so terrible that a skeleton stole my sword and never gave it back, but I lost a wither and he's out there flying somewhere. So this isn't even the last wither. So I grabbed one of my hacker kits and I went straight. And no, I do not hack. I actually stole this hacker kit from another SMP member. And if you want to know who that hacker is, click this video in the top right corner of the screen. Anyways, I was all in. I was ready to kill this wither. Nothing could stop me. At this point, I was unstoppable and I was tired of the bad luck. I was so confident that I was going to win this that I actually used my hand to kill the wither. And this time I backed up because, you know, I learned from my mistakes. Trust me, I'm not doing that again. But this was probably one of my biggest achievements. So yeah, fighting 3 withers was probably a bad idea, but I somehow managed to actually do it. Well, there's one problem. There's still one out there. So today on the Insanity SMP, I was playing Minecraft like the usual. Breaking blocks, playing the game, just having a great time. And then I came to the realization that, I suck at PvP. I was worthless. I would always lose. I couldn't do it no more. I couldn't. But it's time to change that. It's time to show everybody that I'm truly good at PvP. But maybe the true way of being good at PvP is to be smarter. What if all it takes is to outsmart the other opponent? So I asked a couple of the SMP members to 1v1 me, and if they win, I would give them money. So that's what I did. I grabbed myself a protein drink, I got to drinking that crap, and I was ready. First up, it was time to 1v1 one of my best friends on the SMP. I told Pepsi the location, and he went straight there. You just gotta look around. It might be inside. Oh no! No!
Let's go. I won. Let's go. Pay up.
That's right, my plan has failed. It literally only took Pepsi seconds to find me. If I didn't have my sword out, you wouldn't have seen me. And that's right, Pepsi was able to find me because I had my sword out, which made it very easy to see me. So yeah, that's a huge mistake on my part. But if I want to trick someone with this, I'm gonna need a better disguise. Now let's try this again, but with the server owner himself. So I told Killian exactly where to go. I decided to take this battle to my base. And in case you're wondering where exactly I am, I'm actually inside of this tree. He's on. I cannot mess up anymore. No, there's no way I fell twice in a row. I have to get somebody. And to my surprise, this time my plan was actually working. The owner flew by me without even noticing I was there. This was perfect for me. Hold up. Oh my god, I gotta go. Hold up. I gotta hide. That's right. I was actually able to trick Killian, but now I had to quickly take off my armor. He definitely saw me. I gotta stay in the green. This disguise was far better than my first one. Killian was only meters away from me and still didn't even notice me. It's working. I was really sad that Pepsi found out something like it. This is the only bad thing is, like, as soon as I put my armor on, he knows how. Oh, no. Oh, God. No, please. No, that was bad. Yes, I died once again, and I really don't know what I was doing there. I had plenty of time to put the armor back on, but I chose not to. So yeah, that's 2 L's in a row. That's not good. Now, I wasn't gonna let myself lose again. So this time, it's time to fight no other than the Darkness himself. But this time, we're hiding as Stone, which this time was actually working very well. There he is. He was so close to seeing me and even looked straight at where I was and still didn't even notice. So I put on my gear and went straight to attack. But when I went in for the attack, I dropped my sword. So I was stuck with only my axe. Where is he going? I can't see. I'm so dead, guys. I'm so dead. Okay, guys, I need to go back to base. So I went back to my base to where I can actually get me a new hacker sword that I stole from Nathan. Because as you guys know, the Darkness is super powerful and I wasn't trying to lose this. And this time I changed up my disguise so I could trick him once again. The Darkness flew to the statue, so I decided to change my skin once again. Why is the Darkness so powerful? Yes! I did it! Let's go! And I've finally done it, which means you have to hit subscribe because, you know, I'm a PvP master now. And at least I didn't have to spend all my money on this video. All this time I thought it was skill, but all it takes is technique. The Darkness keeps spreading more and more. This shows that the Darkness is really unstoppable. My base is slowly getting corrupted on the Insanity SMP again, and I have to figure out a way to fix this. Luckily, I have a plan in mind, and that plan is to get help from no other than Julian. And if you guys didn't know, Julian is the smartest mechanic on the SMP. Okay, a quick thing before we get into the video, I'm trying to get to 2,000 subscribers before the end of the year, so subscribing would really help. So yeah, the Darkness is kind of consuming my base, and you know, because if you guys have been staying up to the series, you know I've spent months building this, and you know, it kind of has a special place in my heart now, so yeah, I have to figure out a way to remove the Darkness blocks, which is almost impossible. And if I don't want to lose all this stuff, I have to think of an idea as fast as possible. And that's when it hit me. I didn't have to work on it alone. What if there's someone smart enough to help me? And that's when it came up to mind, Julian. Now we both know how smart you are, and I'm gonna need your help. Considering you're the smartest mechanic I know, I have a bit of a problem here. Please help me. And yes, I did spell problem wrong. Yeah, sorry about that. And off to finding Julian's base I went. Welcome to Julian's base. As you could tell, he made a few projects already. Julian has a lot of weapons, such as tanks, which is pretty cool. Including this satellite, which, if you guys want to know more about this, you can watch this video right here. And this is why I need Julian. He could possibly stop the Darkness blocks forever. I put the book inside of his mailbox, and now all we have to do is wait. Hopefully, he says yes. Now that Julian was done reading the book, it was now for the final answers. He used a map to find my base. Now, if you've been keeping up to date on my series, you should know that Julian has been here multiple times and probably doesn't really need a map. But now for a moment of truth. Will Julian say yes? It was time for the decision. I told Julian everything about the darkness blocks and that I need his help. And since he's the smartest mechanic, I'm asking him to build a device to get rid of the darkness blocks. After a long talk, he gave me an answer, and that answer was no other than yes. But in one condition, in that he's gonna need some stuff before he does it. The device needs something as powerful as a netherite block. So he's gonna need one netherite block, a lot of redstone, and a stack of diamonds as profit. And I will do anything to protect my base, so I'm gonna take this offer. So let's get to collecting the stuff. After collecting all the diamonds and all the redstone, I now need a netherite block. I already had 6 netherite ignites. I just need 3 more and I can make a block. So let's go to the nether. After getting all the scrap, it was time to smelt it. And I was done. I am now ready to give all the items to Julian and finally make this offer. I put it in a barrel and Julian took it. Julian was now ready to start on the project. After hours of hard work, it was finally done. Now it was time for a test. I followed Julian, hoping that this will work. Because this device can save the SMP for good. It might not be able to save us from the darkness, but it can save us from the blocks. It's time to flip the switch. It worked. To my surprise, the darkness blocks was gone, but the device also left something behind. The blast of the device also left a big hole in the ground, which means it's technically a drill. And Julian and we discovered something that we shouldn't have. Let's just say it looks very familiar. Julian and I discovered something that might change traveling forever on the Insanity SMP. In the last video, we built a device strong enough that can completely destroy all the darkness blocks. But if we're gonna want to save the SMP from all these blocks, we're gonna need a lot more materials, making it almost impossible. But for now, we can destroy small patches of these blocks. This device is really useful, except there's one problem. The device's energy leaves something behind. This is what I call a red buffer cave. So what is a red buffer cave? These caves have red corrupted blocks and darkness blocks. All these caves consist of a red portal, and the darkness has to be tied into these caves in some kind of way. I'm only saying this because darkness blocks appear to be here, but there's so many unanswered questions about these caves. Like, why are the darkness blocks here? How did Julian's laser create this? And even more questions to go from that. Well, I think I have a few answers. Well, you see, back when I first joined the server, a red meteor hit the ground and exploded. This left a giant red crater. In the ground, this crater also had red corrupted parts and also left behind a portal. So from what we can tell, this meteor's energy had to create this red buffer zone. And the energy I'm talking about is whatever force is making the meteor red. And the energy this is has to be strong. We already know it can destroy darkness blocks and leave behind some marks on the server. Well, how did Julian's device do this? Well, his device used the same red energy to destroy the darkness blocks. So what we can tell is that this energy is strong enough to leave behind a buffer zone. For now, we don't got a name for this energy, but I'm sure we can come up with one. But the question we've all been waiting for, where does the portal take us? I brought some weapons and put on my best gear because who knows what's on the other side of this portal. Let's see where this portal takes us once and for all. I jumped through the portal and I was greeted with no other than spawn? Wait, spawn? Yeah, the portal took me to a random spot on this server, which happened to be close to Gamers Republic. This means we can use the portal to quick travel around the map. But as of right now, these portals only take us to spawn and my base. And who knows how much more are out there. These portals can change the server forever. But you know what else can save my channel forever? Subscribing. I'm trying to get to 2K subscribers before next year, so subscribing would really help. But I need to find answers. So where do I look for answers when no other than the darkness's base itself? I flew up to the base and snuck around, hoping the darkness wouldn't see me. Not only is the darkness strong, but if I get caught, I won't be able to find answers. Luckily, I don't think the darkness is here, so I'm good to look around for a bit, but I must hurry just in case. I went downstairs and I looked for clues, only to find the duplicate of Icy is gone. If you didn't know, Killian and I found Icy from a different timeline, where the darkness snatched him. I have no clue what the darkness was doing with this version of Icy, but I believe since Icy is immortal and can't be killed, that the darkness was trying to steal that power, which would make the darkness impossible to get rid of. Anyways, I'm looking for answers about the red buffer zone, so I have to keep searching. Everything seemed normal and nothing has changed since the last time I've been here other than Icy being gone. But I forgot about the secret room that Killian and I found underneath the darkness's carpet. This room led to a secret cave of the darkness's old cabin that's been frozen in time. In this cave, time does not move, which means nothing can be destroyed or nothing can be rebuilt. I looked around for more clues and I found a small cave containing a blue door. I opened it up and I couldn't believe what I saw. It was a prison, and all over the walls are signs that are talking about how the darkness sees Julian as a big threat and that Julian needs to be killed or captured. I looked at the cell to see if there was any way to escape, but it seems like it's impossible to escape this because the darkness is using some kind of dark force to keep it secured. So if the darkness captures Julian and puts him in this prison, it is truly Julian's end. And as of right now, Julian is our only chance of stopping this darkness. So I have to warn him. But remember when I said this cave is frozen in time and that things can't be destroyed or rebuilt? So how did this prison get here? But there's only one simple answer, and that is that the darkness knew about this months before we did. Then again, this explains how his time traveling works. He probably noticed in the future that Julian was a huge threat and built this prison before the time was frozen. That way when Julian does get locked in this prison, it's impossible for him to ever get out. Basically meaning he's gonna be locked in a frozen prison forever. Using the red portal, I can quickly get to Julian's base. I ran to the Bananas Republic and I found Julian working on something new. This seems like an updated version of the device that we built in the last video. I told Julian everything that I found in the darkness's base and that the darkness is targeting him for some reason. Maybe because the darkness can see the future and probably sees Julian will somehow take down the darkness in some way. Meaning Julian is basically the key to taking down the darkness, which means we have to look beyond the future. The darkness may have an advantage, but we can always come up with a plan because we are about to take down the darkness forever. And Julian wanted me to warn the others. If you want to see more on how we actually found the red buffer rooms, watch this video on the top left. And if you want to see more videos on the Insanity SMP, click the playlist on the bottom left. Anyways, make sure to subscribe. Thank you for watching, And I love you guys, and goodbye. So Julian and I discovered something that changed traveling on the Insanity SMP, and we call these red buffer zones. And we were trying to find answers on what these were, but we found this instead. The darkness built a prison just in case you betray him, and I came all this way to warn you, and just letting you know now.
You must warn the others. Something is about to go down.
Okay, you have my word. And in that moment, I knew I had to warn the others, because a battle is about to happen.
Hoping for the best of luck.
So I went to find the others, letting them know it's time to make our move on the darkness. And Julian asked me to warn you.
Alright, what is
The darkness built a prison for Julian, because he may see Julian as a threat, and that Julian will betray him. And that prison's actually inside the frozen cave.
Oh, do you mean the cave we found under the darkness's base?
Yes, and warn everyone that you can.
Okay, sounds good. And also good luck.
Yeah, at times like this, we're gonna need a lot of it. And yeah, Julian's basically telling me to let you know.
Okay, I'll get ready.
Julian wanted me to warn you about a darkness problem. Things might be crazy.
Okay, man. Thank you for the warning.
And Julian basically wanted me to warn you. After warning the others, it was time to show Julian where this prison actually was. Something was strange. The base looked bigger than usual, and that's because it is. The darkness has upgraded, which can mean only one thing. His plan is now ready. Now technically, the darkness thinks that Julian is on his side, meaning that it's okay if Julian gets caught. So Julian gave me a potion, that way I can go invisible, just in case things go wrong. But it was now time to finally sneak in. Let's show Julian the prison. Now, even though Julian's safe from the darkness, it doesn't mean we want to be caught, because if we do, it will ruin our plans on actually seeing this prison. Now, the upgrades that the darkness did to this base are serious, and we should be worried, because things are about to go down. Julian pointed to the ladder, and we headed upstairs. But doing that was a mistake.
Why are you here, Julian?
Sorry, sir. I was just checking out the place.
Now, you know what I told you about coming here uninvited.
Sorry, sir. It won't happen again.
No worries, I can trust you, right?
Of course, I will never let you down.
That's the Julian I know. How about you come down here with me?
Okay.
I have a few runs to take, but you must promise not to go down there.
I promise.
Farewell, Julian.
Goodbye, Mr. Dark.
Goodbye.
Unfortunately for the darkness, that's a promise we can't keep. It's time to see what's downstairs. And yes, the downstairs was upgraded too. And everything in here was a lot more obvious than the hidden rooms he had before. The darkness upgraded his potion farm and all of his equipment. And a question I was dying to know, is my bird from a different timeline here? And yes, Icy was. Now this bird is immortal just like Icy. But this isn't the Icy that we know and love. This is an Icy from a different timeline. Meaning that the darkness went back in time to steal this version of Icy. Icy from timeline 201 to be exact. Also, the darkness himself left a sign that says,
You already know my secrets.
and to be fair, the darkness was right, but it's time to see what Time Zone 0 is. And Time Zone 0 is the cave that is frozen in time. Yeah, this is a cave where time doesn't move, meaning that the darkness can't time travel here. And in this cave, you can't break or place blocks. And in this cave is the darkness's old cabin. And this is the same cave that contains Julian's prison. The blue door. This is the door that leads to the prison. Now Julian will actually get to see what the darkness is planning for him. And Julian saw it. He saw the unescapable prison that he will never be able to escape. So Julian needs to think fast. But lucky for us, Julian had an idea.
I have an idea.
Really? What is it?
I'm going to trap the darkness. But I'll need your help grabbing the supplies. Here is what you need to get.
Julian said that first I need to get sand. He said that I didn't need too much, but I need a decent amount. And that I'll need to also kill a lot of creepers, that way I can get gunpowder. After I get enough gunpowder, I need to craft TNT. Once all TNT is crafted, I need to bring it to Bananas Republic. And when I'm there, I'll meet Julian and give him the TNT. Would you like me to help you?
No. I feel like I should do this alone.
And Julian left to go set up his trap.
I'm hoping this works. Thanks for keeping an eye out, Carl. Time to set this trap up. It's over, Mr. Dark.
and Julian set up his trap. And now, we wait. If you want to see more content, make sure to click the playlist in the top left. And this story will continue in Killian's